Once you're done with crying, pull yourself together and never cry for the same thing twice, ever. I don't know who you are, where you are, and you believe you've made a mistake and it's paining you inside, it's killing you, it's hurting you, it's causing you depression. I want to let you know that mistakes are part of life. It can happen to anybody. Life is a wholesome experience, not just a positive experience. Life involves positive and negative, which means after experiencing some positive parts, sometimes negative will come in to balance things up. Same thing with if you're experiencing the negative part of life, you should know that the positive will come in at some point to balance things up. Eventually, positive will come in. If you dip in a lot of learning, for instance, you learn about finances so much. After some time, the universe will counterbalance that time and effort you put into learning, and you will start making money. That's balance. Same thing with if you're feeling so much pain in your heart now. Don't think that it is the end. It's not the end. That pain that you're feeling now, eventually the universe will counterbalance it. And then you'll get to a future where there is so much joy. Especially if you put your own ingredient in, which is your intellect. Your intellect helps you to trigger this counterbalance. With your intellect, you point out where you've made mistakes and decide not to repeat them again. But don't go kill yourself because you made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody. Pull yourself together. If you want to cry, feel free to cry. Crying helps you to relieve pressure, relieve yourself of pain, burden. Helps you. Go into your room, go to a private place, cry very well. Once you're done with crying, pull yourself together and never cry for the same thing twice, ever. That's one decision I want you to make now. That thing that have caused you to cry can never cause you to cry again, ever. All right? And now you've pulled yourself together, come for revenge. Revenge is good, it's sweet, better served cold. Not revenging on people, but revenging on life. I'm saying it's the sweetest thing in life. Your revenge doesn't have to be murder or maim or kill people or something. You revenge on life, not on people. Life tried to insult me. I proved to myself that I can actually do this. It was just that I did not realize it on time. Every time life hurts you, or you made a mistake, sincerely it could be you. Everybody makes mistakes. Or somebody hurts you. Pull yourself together and determine that you're not going to stop. You're not going to stop until you solve that. There was a guy that was working in a truck company, and his boss insulted him, told him he can never understand what it feels like to run a trucking business. So I think they fired him or something. This guy vexed. Said he's not gonna stop buying trucks in his life. He was broke ass. He worked hard, and after like 4 or 5 years, he bought the first truck. On the back, he labeled it 001. Second truck 002, until I think he got like number 27 or so. Everybody that sees the truck will know that this guy is onto something. Some of you have lost your jobs. You can start companies only if you take up the challenge. You know, that pain, that hurt is creating an energy. It's creating an imbalance in the universe. And what is on the other side? Benefit, profit, companies, children, things that you can realize on the other side. But it's your intellect that will help you to tip it over. Tip over the universe to your favor. Intellect. Don't forget that. I heard that a DSS, a lady that has a good job, had a disagreement with her boyfriend, and she went and jumped into the lagoon and killed herself. Why are you killing yourself? When something happens, we are humans. When something happens, that first day that thing happened, or first 2-3 days, it's horrible because your mind triggers post-traumatic stress disorder. Trauma enters, and once trauma enters, your mind enters a loop. And what's that loop? That loop is your mind replaying that scenario over and over again and trying to find a solution to it. As long as there's no solution, it will keep replaying. That's why sometimes you don't get over people until you find somebody better than that person. When you find somebody better, you'll be like, oh shit, I was actually dying for this guy or this girl. Or there was a time I had no food. But don't forget that post-traumatic stress disorder is an evolutionary adaptation, because people that have it are able to stay on one problem until they solve it or make sure that they can't repeat that mistake. But sometimes it's bad because that's what depression is. It puts you into depression. Don't allow yourself to stay on that so long. Try and remove your mind from it But just know what's come to worst, assuming you can't control your mind. Time will always resolve it. Remember when you lost somebody that you loved so much in your family and you thought that that was the end of the world? Look at you now, you've bounced back. There's nothing you can't recover from if you give it time. Get through the first 3 days. You'll see that it's a little bit easier. Then you get through the first week, the second week. By 3 months, you'll see that it has become an emotion you can easily control. You still feel it, but you've now gained the ability to control it. Or you get to a company and you can't learn the system of that company fast. Then you slide into depression. No. If you can't learn it fast, you make more mistakes. Happens to everybody. Even if your own is unique, it's life. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to come for revenge. There was one day, a hardworking young man. He was walking on the road. He saw a beautiful damsel that he liked. And he asked the damsel, "Please, will you marry me?" The damsel said, "No, I don't like you." The young man went into sorrow and eventually left, walked away. So he worked hard, got some money, asked another damsel. That one agreed and they married them. Married that one. And then he worked harder. Both of them built an empire. And then he went out and conquered a kingdom, became the king, and conquered many other kingdoms, and married 9 other damsels, and became the king of a very large empire. That is the end of the story. What is the moral? The moral is that there is nobody that is indispensable. Even though some people, you may need 10 people to replace them, but there's nobody on earth you can't replace. Nobody. Some people you need 10, 15 people to replace them, but they can be replaced. Don't kill yourself over people. Or losses, financial losses. Some people get into debt and they feel they want to end it all. It is money, you can bring it back. Money just represents power. Money represents power, and that you lost power is temporal. You can still get it back. Just give yourself time. Deal with the people asking you for their money back and all. Just give it time. You'll bounce back. People like Trump, they lost all their money at some point when he was young. 3 of his managers, his father died, so he took over the business. 3 of his managers crashed in a helicopter crash, and that was how his whole company crashed, went into debt. He recovered. After 5 years, he became a billionaire again. Look at Kanye West, the one we all witnessed. Kanye West was broke. He was running mad. Out of brokenness, he was owing. He was $53 million in debt. He started tweeting, asking Mark Zuckerberg for money, asking everybody this, that. Everybody thought he was crazy. 2015. 2022, Kanye West is the richest black rapper, richest black musician. $8 billion, what are you telling me? Even when Adidas and all the companies blocked him, he still had $400 million. Don't think that there is something out there that you can't recover from. You can recover from everything.